Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Moonello Show.
Hi,
I'm Matt,
I'm Jason.
and we're going to do a fun little workshop today. Should be interesting. Should be fun.
That sounds fun.
Hands-on workshop here.
Yeah, we've just been talking at you. Now we're going to talk at you with a computer in front of us.
That's right.
Haha.
Over here, kind of in front of me, not really.
Yeah. I'm going to have to squint to see because I'm blind.
So we are going to implement. The main or the really the most important phase of any software development project is the discovery phase, the analysis, the research gathering, the feasibility testing, and we're going to combine that, do a little high level exercise here with AI, and how can AI help us with that if we're if we have a small team or or maybe we're a single entrepreneur, solo entrepreneur, and we want to figure out how can we get past or get through this discovery phase in an impactful way without having to spend a whole lot of time, tracking people down, doing interviews with people, and so on.
Yeah, or even just like giving you prompts, not like ChatGPT prompts, but prompts for where your mind should go, where the things you should think of are, like little ideas. And I don't know, sometimes you might have a great idea for an app, but you don't really have a great idea for, I don't know, user personas. Maybe you don't want to define people. You don't really have the breadth of knowledge of it. So,
Right.
Especially if you're a small team, now you've got there's a computer that can help you do it instead of having to get together a team for that. If you're just, like you said, solopreneur or a duo or whatever the case may be.
Yep. So like we mentioned before, the discovery phase is the most important phase of the software development project. A lot of things are a lot of aspects about the project are taken care of during the discovery phase. Really, no design or development is really done during the discovery phase. You potentially could put together some prototypes.
We mentioned last week, work just isn't really getting done. Work isn't getting done. It's all planning, thought processes, scaling things out on whiteboards and stuff like that.
Yep. So some aspects of the discovery phase, right? Stakeholder interviews and workshops. So if you're a small team or you're delivering an app for another company or a client, you'll want to interview the people that are really wanting this app, who are really looking to implement this app. Could be for an internal workforce. So you want to definitely make sure you're interviewing the employees who are going to be using it. But most importantly, the stakeholders. You want to sit them down, whiteboard with them, really pick their brain and really understand what it is they want to get out of it. During the discovery phase is where market research and competitive analysis also gets done, right? So if you're a small team or, maybe you want to, get your hands on some data or look at Gartner or look at some other, small business association type data models that'll give you some information, but AI could potentially help you out there, which we'll show here in a little while. During the discovery phase, you also, kind of list out the project goals, what is this thing supposed to achieve? Some other things like developing user personas, which we mentioned earlier, right? Really defining who it is that is going to be using this app. If it's going to be an employee, right? It's Jennifer in IT. She's 27 years old. She's got a family at home. She's going to secondary schooling, right? She's got goals in her life. She shops at Target. She really loves Starbucks. Really get to know this user persona. They're not necessarily like an actual real person, right? But they're kind of like a persona of a market.
Yeah, just a model, like an example of a real person that you might find. So hobbies, interests, people who would or would not be interested in those types, the thing that you're building.
Right. And if the thing that you're building or the app or what you're looking to release, there's already kind of like a market out there for that, is this user persona using one of those apps already? So just understanding, marking down whether or not they're using it. User journey mapping, right? So at the point of which your app does get designed or developed and deployed and people are using it, how are they using it? Are they going from the home screen to another screen to another screen to another screen? Are they seeing this overlay? Are they seeing this drawer? Are they seeing what is the map that they're from point A to point B or all the way from A to Z? what are they seeing in all the different aspects of the app. So we talked about requirement gathering and analysis, right? So it's really like defining what are the requirements, like this thing needs to do this, right? User accounts are a must in this app, right? So people need to be able to reset their passwords. People need to be able to get an email to gain access to their account. People need to create an account. People need to change their account information.
Stuff that's like very important but could be overlooked. Like you kind of take that for granted when you're in an app, right? You just assume, right? You assume that all the apps are going to have login capability, and that's just a thing. But if you don't plan for it and design for it and think about it beforehand, you could end up like not thinking about the time that it's going to take to do those things. Just assuming that, oh, this is an app. Shouldn't it just have that?
Right.
No, you have to think about those things. You got to put that plan into place.
Right. Oh, you actually want to change your email address on your user account?
We've had clients bring that up before.
Then you change it, then the previous email will need to get an email saying, "Hey, your email address has changed," and then the new one gets the email. Wow.
Think about it.
Right. And then during discovery, we also talk about technical feasibility studies, right? So actually put out some type of study. We talked about earlier about the prototypes, right? You might sketch on a piece of paper or maybe draw something or actually use software, no-code tool to build kind of a prototype of what your app is going to be so that you can get that out there to, a small focus group and, hey, is this something that would be feasible? Did you have any issues with this? Or do you see any problems with this? What did you think, right? So those studies are done during this process as well. And then a couple other things like risk assessment, right? During this process, you're going to unearth some things that are, I didn't really think of that. Oh, that might be risky. Okay, let's write that down in the risk column, right? And at the end of the day, once you've done all of your discovery, right before you jump into design, you've done some type of go, no go. Like, is this a go or is it not a go? And you likely have some items in the risk column, especially if you've done, like, if you built like some type of a roadmap. You'll understand, wow, this thing's probably going to take a lot longer than I expected, or it's probably going to be a lot more difficult than I realized in the very beginning, which is okay. It's fine, but it'll just get listed in the risk column. And maybe the benefits and the advantages might far outweigh any risk that you have in that column. But it's always important to build some type of list of risks. List of risks. That's a tough one.
Risks.
Yeah.
You did well.
Awesome.
Good job.
And then, of course, project documentation and estimation, right? So as you're going through everything, you're documenting. Going through each stage of the process, you've got some type of, maybe it's a Google Doc that you're writing up or some
a knowledge
type
base of some sort. Use
definitely.
Notion.
Yeah, Notion's good for that. But yeah, keeping track of everything. And then at the end of the day, you're going to have some type of an estimation, right? Like we mentioned earlier about the roadmap, you're going to know this thing's going to could take 3 weeks, could take 18 weeks, could take a few months. You never know. It depends on your roadmap.
But at least you know.
At least you know.
Yeah. And you half the battle.
And you could potentially use some AI to really understand what this potentially could cost. You can talk to some local people or give us a call and we'll let you know.
Right.
So that's discovery in a nutshell, really at a high level.
Yeah.
Just really understanding all the different aspects of what goes into building an app before you actually get in and design and spend all the time designing or maybe even jump past design and just jump right into the code, which can benefit sometimes, but you definitely want to make sure you at least do some variation of the discovery.
Certainly the danger grows the bigger the project is going to be. So small, like 1-page website, probably don't need 7 weeks of discovery for that. But your big giant web app that competes with Airbnb probably might want to think about that a little bit longer.
Yep.
Yeah. So why don't we, you'd mentioned AI and how AI can help. Let's kind of talk a little bit about what AI is doing, like a real small overview. I mean, obviously it doesn't really need introduction to those who are in the kind of the tech space. Like it's the big buzzword. It's the big thing that everybody is kind of like focused on right now.
Is that what I saw on CNN last night?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't because CNN's been a little kooky lately. I don't get too into it, but yikes. But yeah. So like it's the new like Web3 of the tech world. Everybody's reeling on AI. So you basically have like there are many more, but your two big competitors right now for the space, right? You've got OpenAI's GPT model. Their Model 4 is the one that's out recently. and Google's Bard, which just came out like 2 months ago to the public. It's been making advances. They just made it available for everybody, no more waitlist type of a thing. So that's pretty cool. GPT-4 was the latest thing from OpenAI with it, advanced reasoning. It's got a higher ability to kind of like arrange context and read from different context and pull that in and give you like an overview type of thing. Basically like thinking about the context of different documents at the same time and just combining those things together.
Right.
It does have internet capability if you're one of the lucky users that has plugins available. They did say that they're bringing that out to more people soon or now. I am not one of them, so thank you, OpenAI, for that. I've been wanting plugins this whole time, but anyway, plugins allow internet accessibility, which web accessibility, right? It doesn't have for all users right now. Certainly, Microsoft Bing has ChatGPT, or not ChatGPT, but GPT-4 kind of built into its search capability, so it has a chat function, which we'll kind of talk about in a sec. Bard, on the other hand, they recently upgraded their language model. So they did like a 3.5 to 4 if you're doing a comparison between OpenAI and Google. It's supposed to have better logic and reasoning and that whole thing. It does have internet connection, web accessibility, not web accessibility, but website access, web access, I guess, built into it. And it is no longer under a wait list. So everybody can just go to, bard.google.com and just start using it. So that's kind of where we're at with the race. Both of them are probably working on newer things. Bard is public with their newer things. I don't know, besides the plugin stuff, I don't think GPT-4 has really or OpenAI has really talked about too big a huge things that they're coming out with. Right. Certainly, they probably got something going on underneath the hood, but we'll see about that.
But the idea is that you give these AI tools, these websites, which we'll show you in a minute. You give it some context or a prompt, and it will, based on its language model, give you a response, particularly an answer for what you were looking for. And what you're looking for might not be just a simple yes or no answer or a one-word answer. It might be, give me a recipe. I have these ingredients. What types of different recipes could I make? And it could crank out a handful of different recipes with cook time and measurements of things and prep time or
give me statistics based on this demographic for this country, for this state, for this age group, and what their favorite food is and their favorite color and that sort of thing. So just like stuff you would normally have to do research for that maybe somebody's already done on the internet, and it can just go off and find that information or have that information in its brain and just kind of contextualize it for you.
In milliseconds.
Yeah.
And very, very quickly, which you'll see here.
So what we're going to do is we're going to model this, right? We're going to basically plan out or start to plan out an app. So I think Matt, you're going to take it over from here.
So we're going to arbitrarily choose a company, and then we're going to walk through how that company might go through some of the initial discovery phases, the initial discovery phase, how that might go through some of the things that are inside of that discovery phase, and use AI to help generate some content to get the creative juices flowing, to get the thoughts growing, to start building up documentation, to start to analyze things. Of course, you don't want to take what it gives you and use that as verbatim. You want to use that as your stepping stone into your next, wow, this is great information. Let's dive deeper into that. Let me go look at the sources. Let me go read some articles. Let me go see, does this make sense? How powerful is this data that it's showing?
It's really interesting to note that, number one, all of the companies have said that their models can be wrong and give information that isn't 100% correct. In some cases, depending on the prompts and depending on the situations, the models can give you answers and just make those statistics up, make those facts up, make a source up, right? So definitely don't want to be using this for your business and then not do the backup research to make sure that what it told you was actually a factual thing, because that can be a pretty bad way to base your business
Right.
off of something.
Right.
So
let's get into it. So what we're going to do, we're going to research to build a mobile app. It's going to be for a tech-forward restaurant.
nice.
And that restaurant wants to keep people or its users or people coming there to eat under their own branded experience. So they don't want to send people to a third-party website to go view a menu. They don't want to send someone to another third-party web app to go order food.
Yeah.
They want to keep their visitors, the people in the restaurant, inside of the branded experience that they offer. So this restaurant will serve an American cuisine for the Zillennial palate, located in Southeast Michigan. This mobile app should handle viewing the menus. It'll handle user accounts. It'll handle ordering both on location and for pickup. Very high level. And then it should offer in-app. It should provide in-app offers, including coupons, specials, promotions. And then it should also have a point reward system, because we learned in a previous The Moonello Show podcast episode that a very, very important benefit or a key to the success of a mobile app when it comes to retention is gamification.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that in a previous episode. That's actually that was episode 6, I think. Yeah, because it was the last of our first run.
Yep.
Of episodes that we did. Old
Cool.
guy with the beard was the picture.
Old guy with the beard.
Yep.
That's right. Oh yeah, he was taking the selfie.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to get into it here. We're going to be sharing our screen. Those of you listening on the podcast, we're going to talk this through. It's going to make complete sense.
Hope so.
We'll make sure. So we've got our prompt that we're going to take, which is a lot of the things that we just talked about.
Yep.
And we also want to point out that if you're hoping to get a lot of good information out of the AI tools, it's important to give really good information into the AI tools.
Yeah. So we're doing very basic prompts right now. Would be worth it for you to do some prompt research of your own, just to see what might work better for you, what other people have said. We are definitely not like pro prompt engineers or anything like that. We're users ourselves, so do your own research for that.
So our first prompt is we want to understand what our total addressable market is going to be.
Yeah.
So in order to get that information out of the AI tools, we need to prompt the tool with what exactly are we looking to get the total addressable market of, right? So we are asking it for, the restaurant will serve American cuisine focused on the Zillennial palate, located in Southeast Michigan. We're building a mobile app for a tech-forward restaurant that wants to keep its users in its branded experience. The mobile app should handle viewing the menus, user accounts, and ordering both on location and pickup. It should offer it should provide in-app offers, including coupons, specials, promotions. It should also have a point reward system that offers free food in exchange for earned points. What is our total addressable market? So we gave it a lot of information there. It knows we're a restaurant. It knows it's an American cuisine. It knows it's the Zillennial palate. It knows the physical location, right? And it knows what we want the app to do. So we're starting off in Google Bard, and we're going to provide that, and we're going to see what Google Bard provides us.
Yeah. So while it's kind of thinking about that, what is total addressable market? Like, what should we be expecting from this prompt that just showed up on the screen?
So so really, it's what is the size or what is the slice of the population that you could generate revenue off of?
Got it.
Right. So it's good that we provided the physical location so it can at least run numbers and understand, okay, your total addressable market, it can start with something here.
Got it.
Which is what it did, right? So it gave us a total addressable market for your mobile app as the number of people in Southeast Michigan who are interested in the Zillennial cuisine who are likely to use the mobile app to order food. According to a recent study, there are over 2 million people in Southeast Michigan who are between the ages of 18 and 24. So there's your Zillennial market.
Yeah.
Right? Of these, over 70% are interested in the Zillennial cuisine. Additionally, over 90% of people in this age group use a mobile app to order food at least once a month. That is really good detail.
Yeah, and it does like the math and stuff for you. Like
Right.
It understands how it's not just that it took those numbers and did some things. It knew what to do with those numbers and what to find.
And it says here, based on these figures, we can estimate that your total addressable market is over 1.4 million people. This is a significant market opportunity, and your mobile app has the potential to reach a large number of potential customers.
That's good information.
Very good.
Definitely would think about making sure that that initial number starts correctly. Like, is that the real population of Southeast Michigan? But
Right.
once you have that, you could even just extrapolate or maybe even ask Bard for the equation to, like, what if I have a different population? How do I plug that in to get
Oh yeah, what was the formula you used here? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe it's not 2 million people, maybe it's 3 million people. What would the result be?
Yep.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So now we're going to ask Bing the exact same question. We're going to give it all the exact same detail. We're going to let it know all the information about the restaurant, about the mobile app, about the Zillennial palette, about where we're physically located.
Yeah.
And that we want the total addressable market.
Yeah. And kind of a note about Bing, obviously with ChatGPT 4 or GPT-4 built in, it's got access to the internet, that sort of thing. So it's kind of different than ChatGPT-4 in that respect.
Yep.
So we should expect newer numbers, or at least like newer dates in theory, depending on what it finds, right? It might find something that has kind of a better click-through rate or more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like value, prominence, market share. There's a word for it.
I don't know.
It's authority, market authority. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it has more, if something has more authority, maybe Bing is going to give you that instead of like the most recent statistic. So that's something to think about.
We got our response out of Bing. You want to hear it?
I kind of do.
All right.
Because I can't read it.
According to a report by Morgan Stanley, the total addressable market for online delivery is set to grow from 260 billion to 217 into 2017 to 325 billion in 2020, and possibly 470 billion by 2025. So it automatically went down the wrong path, thinking that we wanted total addressable market to be of a food delivery app.
Yeah.
And it's just giving us the value of food delivery apps over the past 5 years.
Because we didn't even say anything about delivery. We specifically even said in restaurants and pickup.
On location and pickup. We didn't say anything about delivery. So it kind of went off, right? So here's where you're going to want to understand, wait a minute, this isn't what I asked for. So you would need to refine things to get it back on track of what you're actually asking for. I wouldn't even say it even got close to what we're looking for.
It didn't even mention like the local area, anything about Michigan.
The Zillennial palette.
Yeah, no real, like, I don't know, detail. And it just gave us, numbers. And those numbers look to be more like USA as a whole numbers, not even like Michigan itself or some particular area. Interesting.
So now we'll plug the same exact prompt into OpenAI's GPT-4, so ChatGPT-4. Yeah. And then let's see what we get here. What do you think we're expecting to see here?
Different, because its knowledge is only up to like 2019, 21,
September
something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but yeah. So it should be different. I'd imagine that the value is probably going to be less than what Bard gave us.
You think so?
Just because of the knowledge it has. But
all right.
I don't know.
So let's see. You want to see what we got here?
Yeah, it's coming through.
It's actually thinking through, and it's presenting out to the screen.
And here's an interesting bit. GPT-4 is generating it much slower than we got in Bard. So that's something interesting to take note of.
Yeah, Bard took a few seconds, and this is still presenting its response. There is a difference between the three different tools, by the way, too, because ChatGPT is, you type in your prompt, it'll immediately start to respond, but it might be slow in finishing its response to where Bard kind of waited a second or two, and then it provided its whole response.
Right.
And then Bing Chat, it mentioned, hey, I'm going to go find your answer now, and had the little ... loading. And then it just provided the response. So all three are kind of different in the way they respond.
Chat GPT obviously like really takes chat into effect, and it mimics like as someone is typing out that response to you, whereas the other ones are much more like browser, like search based type of things, like a web search.
So are you ready for this?
Words are hard for me today. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. You're doing great.
Thanks.
You're doing great.
I needed that.
So here's the response we got out of ChatGPT-4. Ready? Same exact prompt.
Yeah.
To estimate the total addressable market for your mobile app, there are a few key factors we need to consider. The population size of Southeast Michigan,
Nice.
percentage of the population that falls within the Zillennial age range, the percentage of those Zillennials that are likely to be interested in a tech-forward restaurant, and the percentage of those interested who have access to a smartphone to use the mobile app. Like it knows, it grouped our prompt into separate groups of data, right?
Yeah.
So, and it made it,
Kind of similar to Bard.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, it didn't like specify that up front. It Bard kind of just said this and the number, that and the number, this and the number.
As it continues, it says, as of my knowledge cut off in 2021, I don't have exact figures, but I can give you rough estimates based on available data. Population of Southeast Michigan in 2020 was around 5 million. Zillennial demographics, also known as Gen Z, population in United States was about 68 million, or roughly 20% of the total population. We assume the same proportion in Southeast Michigan, that's about 1 million potential customers. Tech forward interests, if we assume around 50% of Zillennials are interested in tech forward restaurant experience, that's about 500,000 potential customers. That sounds like a rough guess, flip of a coin almost. And then smartphone access. So roughly 95% of Americans own a cell phone of some kind, and about 85% of those are smartphones. We take that into account, we get a potential customer base of approximately 425,000 Zillennials. Now, of course, it goes into, these are very high level rough estimates. Please check into them. But as you remember from Bard, there was kind of almost like a formula it was doing.
Yeah.
It was almost thinking through step by step by step. So ChatGPT kind of did the same thing here. So if you can actually go back and validate those numbers and really go back and say, make some more educated assumptions, weighted heavier more towards one side, you might get yourself to a number that's a little bit more
right.
A little bit more accurate.
And with Bard, the starting number of that population of Southeast Michigan was much different. I think it was double what ChatGPT gave us.
Yep.
So obviously that changes things. But if you do that research and plug in that correct number, then both of them would give you. It seemed pretty accurate. Like they were pretty close to each other.
So there's a way to use AI to understand your total addressable market. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Fact check some of the numbers, right? Build yourself a backward formula to understand where it's getting its numbers from and how those numbers affect the decision. But there you go.
Yeah.
So now as we jump over our total addressable market, let's build some user personas. Let's say, okay, of that total addressable market, let's build some user personas. So our next prompt now is we don't have to remind these AI tools that we're talking about a restaurant and that we're at Southeast Michigan or that we're building a mobile app, right? It's already there. Now you just continue to build onto this conversation that you're having.
Yeah. So now it's going to take the responses that it has given us and add that to the context of what it knows, plus the new questions that we're asking them.
Yep. So here we're going to say, of that total addressable market, please generate 3 user personas of varying genders and provide demographic as well as psychographic details. Place a fictional name to each user persona, as well as a job title and goals they may have. And
this is going to be interesting.
Bard is thinking. We haven't used Bard to build user personas yet.
Yeah.
And here we go. Sure. Here are 3 user personas for your mobile app. Exactly what we were looking for. User persona 1, Emily, 22 years old, female, Detroit, Michigan. She's a student. She has goals to eat healthy, affordable food that is also delicious. She fits in the 18 to 24 age range. She's, gender. She's got income between $25,000 and $50,000. She's a college student. She lives in Southeast Michigan.
Wow, she's pretty rich for a college student.
Yeah, right. Psychographic details.
Well, rich,
so she's interested in food and fashion and music. She values health, sustainability, and affordability. And her goals are to eat healthy, affordable food that is also delicious. So it's the same goals that were set up above. Now we got our second user persona, right? Ben, age 23,
What's
male.
up,
Ben? Hey, Ben, from Ann Arbor, Michigan, software engineer. Goals to try new food and support local businesses. Demographics fits in the Zillennial, so 18 to 24. Male, income 50 to 75,000. Education, a college graduate, lives in Southeast Michigan. Psychographics is technology, sports, and music. Values, community, innovation, sustainability. I mean, these are amazing.
Yeah.
Then you got user persona number 3, Maria, age 21, female, lives in Royal Oak, Michigan, occupation of retail manager. She's got goals to save time and money on food. Income 25,000 to 50,000. Education college student, lives in Southeast Michigan. Psychographic details: she's interested in shopping, travel, and music. Values convenience, affordability, and efficiency. Very cool, right?
Yeah. Maria, you could probably be making more as a retail manager.
Yeah.
You should search a competitor for. Yeah.
She needs Indeed.
Yeah, she needs Indeed.
Indeed, she does.
I've worked in retail spaces before, and know what those retail managers have made, and that's not the price range for that.
So we are going to ex-nay Bing Chat, because Bing Chat is still trying to figure out what it is we're trying to build here.
Yeah.
So we're going to stick with Bard and OpenAI ChatGPT-4. So we're putting the exact same prompt into ChatGPT-4. We want 3 user personas. Absolutely. Here are 3 user personas for your tech-forward restaurant app.
Last names on these ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's relevant, but it does give us a little more like demographic understanding, because the first one, it didn't say anything about ethnicity or anything like that.
Right.
And that's certainly something that you want to kind of understand a little bit.
So here's a user persona. Josh Martinez, 23 years old, male, junior software developer. Demographics: so just recently graduated from college, moved to Southeast Michigan for his first job at a tech company. He lives and shares an apartment downtown with a couple of roommates. Psychographic details: tech enthusiast, always likes to stay updated with the latest technologies and trends. He enjoys eating out and trying new places. He's social butterfly and frequently dines with friends or coworkers. Look at the little junior software developer,
look at that guy.
social butterfly.
He's doing good.
Now we got Melissa Thompson. This is interesting. Melissa Thompson,
Yeah.
age 28, kind of like on that higher end of the zillennial, right? Digital marketing specialist. Melissa is single, lives in a trendy loft, an up-and-coming neighborhood. She has a comfortable salary and enjoys spending her disposable income on new experiences. Some psychographic details: Melissa is a foodie, and loves trying out new and unique dining experiences. She's always on the lookout for places that offer a twist in traditional dishes. Interesting. She appreciates convenience and values businesses that offer digital solutions, right? And then Melissa has a goal of seamless and personalized dining experiences. She appreciates a restaurant that knows her preference and offers customized recommendations. She's also interested in earning points and rewards for her loyalty. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
And then we got the third one. Alex Lee, 21, non-binary, college student. Demographics: Alex is a full-time student studying computer science at a local university. They live on campus and eat out due to their busy schedule. Some psychographic details: so their tech-forward experiences, appreciates when businesses use technology in innovative ways. They like to support local businesses and are always on the lookout for good deals due to their tight budget. And they got a goal, they have a goal here set for them. Offers a fun and interactive dining experience. They're interested in an app that makes ordering food easy, especially for pickup orders between study sessions. They would love to take advantage of any student discounts or rewards.
Nice.
How great is so impactful these user personas?
Yeah.
And you could even take these even deeper, right? There's no competitive information in here either. Are they currently using, what types of apps they're currently using? You certainly could take these user personas, document them separately, and maybe even dive deeper into each one separately. Maybe even find these people find people on Facebook or social or in your circle of friends that might fit in these, and maybe interview them and go deeper into psychographic details and maybe goals or competitive stuff.
Just speaking on the 2 responses that we received, obviously GPT-4 is more descriptive with what they're getting. It's paragraphs, it's actual writing, whereas the Bard is just very, and maybe this is part of what Bard is doing is we've given it very basic detail and questions. We didn't put any flower or fluff into the questions that we asked or the description that we did. We just did basic facts, and maybe that's why it gave us back just answers. Whereas GPT-4, obviously we got flowery stuff that we could take and we could put that text on a website somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So now taking it a step further now in the discovery phase, we want to start to build a feature roadmap for this app and really understand what are the different features that we're going to need and where are those going to fall on the roadmap. Should some be done first? Should some be done later? So the prompt that we're giving to the different AI tools is, for the mobile app, provide a feature roadmap of only the features we would need for a minimum viable product. And the minimum viable product is the product that you release out to the public that's minimum in value, minimum in viability, meaning it doesn't have everything in it just yet. It has just the minimum amount of things that would need to generate revenue or to put a smile on your customers' faces or to at least begin to
start making money now.
Right? And to begin to learn how people are using it, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we're saying. So for the mobile app, provide a feature roadmap of only the features we would need for a minimum viable product. Please provide an estimated timeline for each feature in the roadmap. Right? So we're asking this to Bard.
This is a pretty technical thing that we're asking it to.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting.
And it came back with some high level stuff. So sure, here's a feature roadmap of the minimum viable product for your mobile app. And really it just listed out view menus, user accounts, ordering, in-app, point reward system, 1 month, 1 month, 2 months, 2 months, 3 months. So kind of high level. I would have liked for it to break down for the different menus. You need to be able to view the menu and see different food items that are in that menu. So it really didn't break it up too much.
It's interesting that it put 1 month at view menus and user accounts and knew that ordering is probably more complex and would take longer than that. It would take a full 2 months to do that.
Right. So you might take this and you might, ask it to dig down deeper, or maybe you document view menus, and then you ask it, okay, build me a roadmap of just the view menu part. All right, so let's ask the same exact thing to ChatGPT 4 and see what we get. Sure, here's a simple roadmap for a minimum viable product, in parentheses, MVP, of your mobile app, along with estimated timelines.
Starts with user and login first.
User registration
Only
and login.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, right?
Wow, that's a tight manager there.
But it says this feature allows users to create an account using their email or social media. They can then log in, log out of the app. It would include password reset functionality as well. So it does go into a little bit of detail.
Yeah.
Menu viewing, 3 weeks. A digital, easy to navigate menu that allows users to see the food, drink options are available. This should include clear images, descriptions, and prices of all items. So that's kind of cool.
We never mentioned drinks. So it just knew that we're,
right.
Took that context and it understood we're talking about restaurants.
Yep. And then it went into in-app ordering 4 weeks. It went into rewards program 3 weeks. Special offers and promotions 2 weeks. User profile and order history 3 weeks.
Nice.
And some of this stuff is really arbitrary, like special offers and promotions 2 weeks. You could really build a very sophisticated and complex reward or offer promotion system that sends out push notifications of specific things, that only allows a specific group of people to see some promotions. So that 2 weeks is really arbitrary because it really could be a lot more than that, or maybe it could be,
coupon codes and a table to look them up.
Right. So here we've got a roadmap-ish, right? Something that we can build on both of these.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say these are full-on, huge roadmaps, but that's certainly something that you could build on.
Yeah, and maybe this means, the prompt should have been more specific on what you wanted out of that, right? So define what the roadmap is, what it should look like. You can definitely do that in these.
Right.
In that prompt.
Right. Oh yeah, you could say for the feature of viewing menus, please dig deep into view menus of each feature of viewing a menu, viewing a food item, right? Seeing the price, seeing the details for sure. So now as we go through our discovery phase, we're going to do a little bit of competitive review. So we're going to give these AI tools the prompt of provide a competitive review, provide a competitive review of all the possible restaurants in the area that we may compete with based on our user personas. Do we want a competitive review?
What other kind of review would you look for?
Provide a list of competitors.
Yeah, list of competitors.
Doing some real-time changes here.
Yeah.
So provide a list of competitors of all the possible restaurants. So even when you have these prompts all ready to go, you always want to read them back and see, okay, could we refine this in any way? So we're asking this to Bard, and we'll see what Bard comes back with.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it kind of did a high level, sure, here are some possible competitors for your restaurant in the area. And really, it broke it up into fast food restaurants, casual dining, fine dining, and delivery services. It certainly listed a handful of examples. So you potentially could put those into a document or some type of Google sheet.
Let's fact check. Does Morton's, what is it? Morton's The Steakhouse. Does that exist?
I think it does.
Morton's The Steakhouse.
It does.
It definitely exists. That's really a thing.
It is the best steak anywhere.
I guess so. That's what Morton's said. It's got a nice little video playing.
Yep.
This is interesting because we were doing this type of research for a client recently.
Yep.
That certainly could have been helpful for you to find those examples.
Yeah, but now we know about Morton's The Steakhouse.
Yeah. They're
not the steakhouse called Morton's.
Right.
All right, so we're going to ask the same exact prompt to ChatGPT 4 about a list of competitors, and let's see what we get.
We'll have to put Morton's in the show notes.
We will.
Because we've mentioned them. Free publicity to Morton's.
That's right. So it's now responding back and saying, as an AI developed by OpenAI, which I'm not sure I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I don't have real-time or location-based data access. Thus, I cannot provide a list of specific restaurants in Southeast Michigan that would be competitors as of this current date. However, I can give an idea of the types of competitors you may encounter based on your user personas and your restaurant concepts. So tech-forward restaurants, it gives an example. Well, it talks about them, but doesn't give actual restaurant
it just
examples.
defines them basically, which Bard did too, but then Bard also provided name examples. And it's interesting because certainly there are restaurants out there that existed in 2021 that will continue to exist this entire time, like McDonald's, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know if they went through and listed American cuisine restaurants. McDonald's is certainly an American cuisine restaurant.
Right. No, it didn't even, it gave, like you said, it's just defining what they are.
I mean, food delivery services and apps, like, I don't know, maybe it's specifically told because I don't know if these things will exist when somebody is looking this up. Maybe I shouldn't include them in there. So it's kind of a win for Bard.
Right. So then to end off, this discovery workshop, right? Of course, this would be a lot more, we would go into a lot more detail. You should obviously go into a lot more detail, fact check this stuff.
Way more to it than this.
Fact check the stuff you're getting out of the AI tools. But let's now,
like I've been doing.
Yeah. Let's ask it now. Let's do a little bit of fun stuff, right? Like as you get ready, so you've gone through this process and potentially you're, okay, this is a go. Like let's move forward. To maybe help out design or to maybe give your designer or creative team like a little bit of something to go off of, you can ask these AI tools to generate some type of a color palette or variations of a color palette based on those lineal details, based on some psychographic details it has been given. So we're going to ask both these AI tools, provide us with 3 color palettes with primary, secondary, tertiary colors with hex codes because we want to be smart. We want to know these hex codes based on our location and our user personas with an understanding of color psychology and what they mean when it comes to food. Name the colors in the theme of our restaurant. So just don't say fuchsia. Give fuchsia a cool name.
Give it a special name.
Based on our restaurant.
Because what is a branding color without a special name to denote it?
Just a color.
Just a color.
Just a sad little
Actually,
color.
I really prefer when there are special color names because it makes it easier for me to understand what they are in the code. Like obviously you can just put green, but if you're like my restaurant green, it's much different. It's just
So Bard came back with something amazing here. I've never run a color palette request into Bard, and I'm already excited with what I'm seeing here. Sure, here are 3 color palettes with primary, secondary, and tertiary colors with hex codes based on your location, based on user personas, and an understanding of color psychology. So color palette 1, primary is red, secondary is yellow, tertiary is white. Here are the hex codes. And the theme is Americana. Red is a vibrant color that is associated with passion, excitement, and energy. It is a great color to use to create lively and inviting atmosphere. Yellow is a cheerful color that is associated with happiness, optimism, and creativity. It is a great color to use to create fun and playful atmosphere. White's a neutral color. Cool.
That reminds me of McDonald's.
Red, yellow, white. Yeah. Do you see Ronald McDonald here somewhere?
Yeah, Ronald McDonald, red, overall yellow.
Color palette too: green, blue, and brown. Green is a calming color that is associated with nature, growth, and freshness. It's a great color to use to create a relaxed and peaceful atmosphere. Blue is a serene color that is associated with the sky, the ocean, and peace. It is a great color to use to create a calm and tranquil atmosphere. Brown is a natural color that is associated with earth, wood, and warmth. Very cool. Color palette: purple, pink, and black with the hex codes. Theme: romance. Purple is a luxurious color that is associated with royalty, luxury, and mystery. It is a great color to use to create sophisticated and elegant atmosphere. Pink is a feminine color that is associated with love, romance, and sweetness. It is a great color to use to create a romantic and dreamy atmosphere. Black is a powerful color that is associated with sophistication, elegance, and mystery. It is a great color to use to create dramatic and alluring atmosphere.
Few notes before we go on. Number one, it definitely gave us like the hex codes. It gave us an understanding of why those colors were picked. I think it's interesting that the green and blue color palette, like some of the people, some of those user personas mentioned sustainability in their thing, and those are certainly like recycling and earth, and those are earthy type of colors, like natural colors. So that's very interesting. I don't like that we asked for unique names for them, and we just got green, blue, brown. We just got red, yellow, white.
Maybe it took that as name our color
maybe
palette.
we should have been more specific.
Yeah,
but
because it seemed to name the color palette.
Maybe we should have said give us unique names based on this, that, and the other.
Well, let's see what
GPT-4 does for us.
So we're going to provide it the same exact prompt. Looking for 3 color palettes: primary, secondary, and tertiary colors with the hex codes based on location and our user personas. And here it's responding back. The first color palette: urban tech palette.
We've named the palette.
And we now have names to the colors.
Yeah.
So this palette is inspired by the tech focus of your restaurant and the urban environment of Southeast Michigan. Primary is steel gray. This color is sleek and modern. Secondary is silicon silver, a nod to the tech aspect. And tertiary is electric blue, a vibrant pop of color to engage the younger audience.
Nice.
Palette 3 is the American Bistro. The palette is inspired by the classic American cuisine you're serving with a contemporary twist. So primary is apple pie red. This warm, inviting color is reminiscent of classic American dishes.
Okay.
I was looking to see if we were going to the red, yellow, white again, which we're not. The secondary is biscuit beige. That's kind of cool. A neutral color that suggests warmth and comfort. And the tertiary color is craft beer brown. This adds a modern, sophisticated edge to the palette.
Ooh.
Palette 3. You ready? Drum roll. Michigan Lakefront palette. Context.
Look at that.
This palette is inspired by the natural landscapes of Southeast Michigan. Primary is lake blue, a soothing color. Secondary is morning mist, a lighter, airy color that adds a feeling of openness. And tertiary is sunset gold, a warm color that adds contrast and excitement to the palette. So very cool. We got our 3 color palettes. We got names. We got hex values. And we have what they mean, so we know where to use them, why to use them, and how they impact our users.
Yeah. I definitely like this more than with Bard. I think it's the names. The names get me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's really cool. I think it'd be cool if we put these palettes somewhere that people can see. Maybe we can pop them on the screen here, or something like that, so we can see if like obviously we just see the hex codes, and I can't interpret hex codes in my brain yet. But it would be nice to see if these colors are actually like matching. Like, do they look good?
Right.
That's certainly a thing to think about.
Right. So that's that.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that? We just kind of went through like a little miniature discovery phase, and we used AI to help us through the majority of the aspects of discovery in a very high level way.
Yeah.
Giving you the tools and context necessary to now go dive deeper into each of these aspects.
And it might be a little bit more work, but you could use both of these tools in tandem. You could ask them the same question.
Sure. Get
different responses and pick and choose and combine the 2 responses that you get into maybe what you need or what your inspiration is. Put it on a mood board or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Get weird with it.
Absolutely. Awesome. So that's That's using AI.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I think that was a neat little experiment to do.
Yep. Awesome. So thank you for listening. Thank you. If you were listening through this episode, I'm sure it was a little bit difficult, but maybe you want to go check out the video sister file of this podcast over on YouTube. But hopefully we've done enough to kind of explain and read through what the tools were giving us.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked it.
Awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
See you next week.